What's up, horror fans? It's Danny from the Shudder-Fest, and we are taking a slight break from our 31 days of Halloween to talk about our favorite streaming service, Shudder. Shudder is the Netflix of horror. They have classics, they have originals, they have exclusives, they have documentaries, they have foreign horror. You can read subtitles, you know you can. They have so much great stuff. And for only about $5 a month, you can't get a better discount. You can't get a better deal in streaming than with Shudder. Let's talk about what they have coming up this weekend. Of course, it's Halloween weekend, and they have a day-long virtual event, Shudder-Fest. If you go to ShudderFest.com, you can check out the full schedule, the full calendar of events that they have planned for that day. Just to name a few of them, it starts 12 noon Eastern Time. They have a panel with horror royalty featuring the likes of Robert Englund, Doug Bradley, Pinhead, Tom Savini, Tony Todd, and more. They're doing things on horror and technology with Blair Witch and the movie Host, which you can check out on Shudder now. They have an hour on the future of black horror. If you haven't checked out Horror Noir, one of the best documentaries made in the last few years, guess where you can find it? It's on Shudder. Grady Hendrix, the author of one of my favorite books of the last few years, My Best Friend's Exorcism, is going to be on at 3. Musicians in horror, including Kirk Hammett of my favorite band, Metallica, he's going to be on. They have story time with Josh Rubin, who did Scare Me. Where can you find Scare Me? You guessed it, Shudder. And that is also one of the best films that they have out there right now, a Shudder original. The Mortuary Collection, going inside the stories of the Mortuary Collection. Another great film you should check out on Shudder. They're going to have a Kingcast episode. When I go running, I love to listen to Scott Wampler and Eric Vespe's Kingcast podcast, all about the books and the films of Stephen King. They're going to have somebody very familiar with Stephen King, Greg Nicotero, one of the greatest makeup effects artists in the history of horror, who worked on Creepshow way back in 1982 and who basically resurrected Creepshow for Shudder as a new anthology series. And then the double feature at the end of the night on Halloween, you guessed it, John Carpenter's Halloween, and then they're going to have a secret feature for members only. Go to ShudderFest.com, check out the whole calendar. I could not give it all of its due in just a few minutes here on YouTube. But that's not all, because Shudder does not stop the horror on Halloween night. Shudder is Horror 365, and if you're like us here on the Shudder-Cast, you want your horror content all year round. So let's talk about what they have coming up in November. Vampires. So on the Shudder-Cast channel, we're going to be doing Stephen King month in November. We're going to be doing deep dives into Mike Flanagan's Gerald's Game and Dr. Sleep. We're going to be doing our 30-second reviews of Stephen King films and adaptations. And we're going to even be doing some book reviews of Stephen King work. Salem's Lot, one of the most famous Stephen King stories, the original film by Tobe Hooper, that's going to be debuting on Shudder in early November. They also have a great documentary coming called Leap of Faith. This is done by Alex O. Philippe, who also did Origin, Memories of Alien, and 78/52 about Psycho. This guy knows how to make horror movie themed documentaries. Leap of Faith is about William Friedkin and The Exorcist. So cannot wait for that to hit Shudder. They're also going to have the Mario Bava collection coming at the end of the month. I got really big into giallo filmmaking last year. Bava, Argento, Lucio Fulci. It all starts with Bava. He is the father of giallo filmmaking, and they're going to have a whole series of his films, including the famous Bay of Blood, Kill Baby Kill, Black Sunday, Black Sabbath. Not all, but many of Mario Bava's famous works will be up on Shudder in November. Urban Legend, if you're around my age and Scream helped to reinvigorate your love of horror, Urban Legend, one of your favorites, is going to be on Shudder in November as well. Plus, they have tons of Shudder exclusives. Blood Vessel, Porno, which is a horror-themed, well, I don't really have to explain that one. There are plenty of more movies. Again, I cannot do justice to what they have coming up in just a couple of minutes on YouTube. This is just a quick preview, but Bava Collection, Salem's Lot, Leap of Faith, the documentary about William Friedkin, The Exorcist, just to name a few things. So much great stuff coming up on Shudder. They have documentaries, exclusives, anthologies, foreign horror, you name it, for about $5 a month. The best deal in streaming. Danny from the Lasercast. Stay tuned to our channel. Like, share, and subscribe, and we will see you very soon.